Good morning, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would keep the camera turned towards the scenery that I'm looking at, and it's absolutely a beautiful morning this morning. It is a beautiful reflection I'm seeing on this water. I wanted you to be able to see it too. I can hear nature sounds. I can smell the fresh air, which unfortunately I can't share with you, but maybe you can imagine it. And I thought today I would talk to you about what I've been contemplating this morning so that you can watch this view and perhaps share in the contemplation. I've been contemplating the idea of follow through. So, follow through, I know that this was in my mind today because it's Mother's Day weekend. And I recognize that the first place that I've learned follow through from is from my mother. And I have seen her follow through in situations that have not been easy. Maybe we've all seen a close friend or family member that's really followed through and thought, wow, how do they do that? Because that's not easy. And we can think about the basic things like cooking, cleaning, taking care of the family, basic, which is the foundation, right? That's huge. But there's also other things that come up. So there are life experiences, there's health concerns, there's connections with friends and family. And I can tell you that it was my mom that set that foundation for me of the importance of follow through. And it was just through example, not even through talking to me about it. So this was fantastic. And then I realized that the next time that I had the best training in follow through was literally when I was trying to be a professional tennis player. Yes, I actually did play professionally for a little while. And okay, granted, it was in my teens, but I was ranked in Canada. And of course, there's a little ego in there. But I can tell you, my coach at the time used to say, Hanifa, you're doing great shots, but you need to follow through so that you've got a bigger swing right after you hit the ball. And that's going to help your ball go to the right place. And I noticed, yeah, whether for the serve or whether through backhands or forehands, it made a huge difference with that swing. Now, anyone who is used to racket sports or even golf, sometimes hockey, this follow through is really important. And then we apply it to life. And I can say that in life, I have luckily really cared a lot about follow through. So I know from my personal life experiences, I've often had many friends that have said simple things like, I'll call you. I definitely want to get together. I'm going to make sure I do this. I'll call you next week. I will do this. And it's a very specific thing. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to call you is one thing. I'm going to write to you. I'm going to email you. I'll keep in touch. Those are more general, right? But if someone says, I'm going to call you next week, it's very specific. And over time, I have seen that many people do not follow through on things that they say. I gotta let you see these ripples because they're so beautiful. And so they do not follow through. And yet I know for a fact that the intention was pure. The intention and the desire is pure to get to that space of following through. So I found this wonderful quotation, which I want to share with you. This quotation says, it was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through. And this is the key, right? It really takes a strong discipline to follow through on our word or our intention, whether for ourselves or for friends, family, the world around us. We can say we're going to do something, but unless the actual follow through is there, which takes discipline, things don't happen, right? So I'm sure we've all gone through these experiences and everyone works at slightly different speeds, and that's okay as long as people are moving based on their intention. I find that I'm very, very happy that I do follow through. I try not to commit to anything that I don't believe I can follow through on. And when I do commit to something, things come up in life, right? And sometimes we cannot follow through. I try to make sure that the world around me or anyone that I've made a commitment to is recognizing that I'm not longer able to follow through what my intention was. And I can tell you that I try to keep those times as few as possible, which means that I try to speak truth of what I intend to and often do, most of the time, follow through on. I think for ourselves, we're usually the most slack about this. So you might notice that you might say to yourself, I'm going to do this tomorrow. And you don't get around to it. We all do it. We have an intention the day before, and somehow the following day does not allow it to come into fruition. Today, I would love for you to sit and think of one thing that maybe has come up regularly. This is something I'd like to do. Sometimes it's people getting into exercise, sometimes it's nutritional changes, sometimes it is about connecting to friends or family. It's Mother's Day weekend. Maybe you've said that I really want to call my mom, but you haven't followed through, or I really want to speak to her, I really want to send her a nice note. Whatever it is, there may be something like that. Or there might be something that you haven't done for yourself. Maybe you haven't given yourself a treat. Maybe you haven't allowed yourself to enjoy your day the way you deserve. So I'm going to strongly recommend that you try this for yourself and follow through. Use those words today to allow yourself to follow through on the things that you dream of. I want to finish with the other quotation. So the first quotation that I said to you, by the way, was by Zig Ziglar. I'll read it again just in case you missed it. It was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through. That's by Zig Ziglar. And one more quotation that I'd like to share that does not have an author is, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And I think you will all know that this is true. We all do it, right? So if it's important to you, you will find a way. And if it's not, you will find an excuse. Make sure that you know this and try to fight beyond the excuses to find the way. I hope you have a beautiful day ahead and a fantastic Mother's Day weekend. And I hope you know, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.